So today we're in Llandailo, going to the Gin House Deli to meet Welsh Homestead Smokery and Good For You Ferments, two Cywain clients that recently took part in our Scale Up Challenge. The Cywain Scale Up Challenge is a training programme aimed at growth businesses looking to upscale. It's as much a programme for the individual as it is for the business, giving business owners the skills and the confidence that they need to upscale. So the training programme itself consists of 5 online modules, including attitude, accreditation, finance and resilience, communication and data, and routes to market. And following this, we have a Meet the Buyer event, giving the businesses an opportunity to put what they've learned into practice and secure future trade.
So, Aoife and John and Claire, how did you come about finding out about the Scale Up Challenge?
I think I find out from you, Maris. You sent me an email just saying, have you heard about this? Because you knew at that time that we were probably getting ready for that, for scaling up. And yeah, that's how we first found out about it.
Yeah, and I think you emailed me, didn't you? Yeah, and said about it. Yeah, I think I had heard of a couple of people that had done the previous one, if I'm right in saying that we were on the second one.
Yeah.
So I'd spoken to a couple of people that had done the first one, so I maybe had a little bit of heads up there.
So what did you hope to gain by taking part in the challenge?
I guess, well, I hoped it was going to be a bit more of an insight into what things I needed to do to be able to grow. Well, no, that's what I think we got.
That's what I thought at the beginning was, yeah, how do we upscale? Like, I wouldn't know where to start. So
Yeah.
the information we got was great.
It gave us the lingo and, gave us the platform to speak to other people as well to find out.
So, with regards to the format of the challenge, the weeks that went by and the process, etc., what did you think of that?
Yeah, it was all quite smooth, wasn't it?
It was
Yeah.
different doing things on Zoom, but we've sort of got used to it a little bit by then, so it wasn't as hard as beginning of 2020. So, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
missed it when we didn't do it afterwards. Did you kind of always like whatever time o'clock we should be doing it on?
got used to do it every week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, putting that like morning aside, isn't it, to go and do
And it fitted in with your schedules.
Yeah, because then we knew far enough in advance, so I just slotted it into the schedule then to do that.
And you were happy to make time for it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, because it was all really worthwhile. And coming away, I was always came away inspired. I always came away with a load of new information. So every session was really invaluable.
It's like having a big brother or a big sister sort of there, sort of pushing you forward and giving you that little bit of confidence as well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was great to hear the others, what stages they were at, and some of them were further along than you, could give you great advice. Some of them weren't as far, so you could give them advice. So yeah, it was great meeting the others.
You learned from each other then, did you?
Definitely, yeah. We supported each other as well. So
Yeah, definitely.
Thinking back over the challenge, are there any particular sessions that really stood out in your mind? So is there anything that's come out of those sessions as a result of attending?
I think I found the session really helpful when we spoke to some really successful Welsh businesses who had already scaled up. We listened to Helen on and Hilltop Honey, and their stories were really inspiring, hearing from going really little to really big and how they got there along the way. So I found that session really, really helpful.
I think we did, on a slightly different note, we did one on the finances, didn't we? Which I found really, really helpful. I think we talked a lot about different prices, didn't we, and markups and margin and all of that sort of stuff.
There was a couple of there was a management session, and I think that really got your head into what it is to be a business owner and not just a food producer. So that I found really helpful, just looking at it in a different sort of way, not just from sort of the bottom up in a way. It's learning to look at it more like a bird's eye view and more of a management view. Yeah.
And have you changed the way you run the business as a result of that?
Yeah, it's me this thing.
So after the online sessions, the training programme culminated in a Meet the Buyer event, which in your case was at the Farm Shop and Deli show in Birmingham back in April. So how did that show go for you? How did you feel the experience?
It's been really busy. Were you really busy?
Yeah, it was great. It was
A lot of talking.
And it was different talking because it was our first ever trade show, so we'd always just done direct sales before, so it was different, learning different terminology, learning what the buyer, was talking to a different buyer, so that was good, really good experience for us because we'd never done one before. So.
Yeah, it was really good, and we came out of that with big distribution contract, which is really good at what we do. Yeah, so and I think probably my session with Mervyn meant that I was like confident to say, when she was just like, what is our margin on this, and I knew it. So yeah, and I think probably without having done that session and the scale challenge, that would have been a lot more daunting.
Yeah.
To answer her questions.
Yeah.
So would you say that's the best possible outcome you could have hoped for by doing the challenge and attending the farm shop in Delhi?
Yeah, absolutely. That's as big a contract. I'm basically going to be upscaling my production now by about 400% to cope with this distribution that I know. So yeah, I couldn't have asked for anything more than that, and anything more than that would probably be too much at the moment as well. So from my point of view, that's as much as I could want, basically.
And what about you both in terms of outcomes? I know maybe the farm shop and deli show was a good experience for you. Would it give you confidence to attend more trade shows and just take that next step?
Exactly, it gave us confidence. We did come away with a load of leads. We did get our first farm shop in England. So we made it across the border. That was thanks to the show. So yeah, we did end up with some, not as big as yours, but some other farm shops coming on board as well with us, didn't we? So.
The experience of talking to different people as well, and say getting the lingo out there, and nice to be under one umbrella with all the other Welsh stands and stuff. That's quite nice as well. We felt part of our family. So
Welsh stand was awesome.
Yeah, so you weren't on your own as such.
Really, it was really impressive.
I think that's what I loved about going with Cywain as well. It's like you're not just going up there on your own. You've got sort of backup, you've got support, you've got people around you, and that's what was lovely about it as well, isn't it?
It's lovely to see how you all work together, because it's not enforced at all. There's a natural kind of freedom and helping each other out and sharing, and I could see people talking to a buyer, and if they weren't suitable, saying, well, this business over here would be better for you, and you were doing that for each other. It was so nice to see.
It felt like one big family. It was quite nice like that.
So if you were to speak to a business that was contemplating taking part in the challenge when we next run it, what would you say to them?
Well, I'd say if they're ready to scale up, do it, absolutely. But make sure that you set aside the time to get the most out of it. I think I set aside a morning so that, and I think it was, if I remember rightly, we did 2 hours. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then I tried to give myself like an hour afterwards to just kind of look back through all the notes that I'd scribbled down, and
you've got to give it your full attention.
Yeah.
And the more you put in, the more you get out of it.
Yeah.
So definitely, but the hour afterwards, same as me, I had to have a look out for everything and let it permeate through what you've just listened to. And
yeah, you couldn't have that on Zoom and then be like typing an email and the other thing. You've got to actually be like focused on it. So as long as you've got the time to do that, it's definitely worth doing, I think.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.